Amendment number 42, printed in Part A of House Report number 118-602, offered by Mr. Perry of Pennsylvania.
Pursuant to House Resolution 1370, the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Perry, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes, and the chair recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This amendment prohibits the use of funds to implement or enforce the DRBC's rule to ban hydraulic fracturing within the Delaware River Basin. The best way to combat high natural gas prices that all of us are paying is to produce more natural gas in America, not less. In places like my home Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the second largest natural gas producer in the nation, unfortunately, unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats at the Delaware River Basin Commission have instituted a hydraulic fracturing ban for a portion of our state, our Commonwealth, stripping away at the stroke of a pen property and mineral rights from Pennsylvanians in contravention of the will of their own legislature. These aren't elected officials. These are folks that just have a different idea and have the authority to take. The result of this prohibition on the development of critical shale plays in eastern Pennsylvania that can bring desperately needed natural gas to market and the unconstitutional taking of the mineral rights of Pennsylvania. That's the result. To be clear, this amendment simply prohibits the DRBC from implementing or enforcing this hydraulic fracturing ban, but it does not impact the ability of the states in the river basin to regulate hydraulic fracturing as they see fit. And with that, Madam Speaker, I reserve.
The gentleman reserves. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Ohio seek recognition?
Madam Chair, I claim time in opposition.
The gentlewoman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Yes, I rise in opposition to this amendment. This amendment creates a funding prohibition related to the Delaware River Basin Commission. The Delaware River Basin Commission is a federal interstate compact agency charged with managing the water resources of the Delaware River Basin on a regional basis without regard to political boundaries. As established by law through the Delaware River Basin Compact that went into effect in 1961, the Commission consists of the Army Corps of Engineers and 4 basin state governors. Those states are Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. The gentleman is from Pennsylvania, one of the 4 states. The Corps of Engineers and these states work as equal partners for planning, development, and regulatory actions for the river basin. And given the Commission's statutory mission, it analyzed the risks to water resources posed by high-volume hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling techniques. Through a public rulemaking process, the Commission developed regulations to high-volume hydraulic fracturing and rock formations within the Delaware River Basin. I do not pretend to be an expert on the Delaware River Basin. I would trust what these 4 states have worked together on. As a reminder, the Commission consists of the governors of the 4 basin states, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania, and the North Atlantic Division Commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. It does not strike me as proper role for Congress, particularly through an appropriations rider, to overrule regional and local governments on this matter, on this complex matter. While the Commission's work could be further discussed, I am also concerned that this implicates funding provided to the Delaware River Basin Commission as community project funding on behalf of one member of this body. For these reasons, I urge my colleagues to vote against this amendment, and I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields back her time, and the gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. During previous debates on this issue, mistruths were spread about the impact of this policy change on the water reservoirs that serve New York City. These claims are false and easily disproven by the facts, which I'm going to lay out right now. The safety of hydraulic fracturing has been demonstrated through its extensive use across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and across the country, not only over the past 2 decades, but for multiple decades. The Obama-era EPA, not the current one, not the last one, the Obama-era EPA determined that the practice did not pose a threat to drinking water. Simple geography and hydrology make this outcome an impossibility. All of New York City reservoirs are upriver from Pennsylvania or on the Hudson River, which does not connect to Pennsylvania, precluding any impact from Pennsylvania from reaching these reservoirs. The intention of this amendment and its primary impact will be unleashing Pennsylvania's full energy potential by allowing Pennsylvanians in the river basin that they live in to use their property that they bought with their money and their mineral rights that they bought with their money as they see fit, subject to the laws passed by their elected officials, not by some bureaucrat from some other state. It's time to stop this underhanded attack on property rights, representative government, and state sovereignty, and restore American energy security at the same time. Opposition to this amendment essentially is saying you support a ban on hydraulic fracturing and for higher natural gas prices for your constituents. And with that, I urge adoption and yield the balance.
The gentleman yields back the balance of his time. The question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Pennsylvania. Those in favor